Hello, welcome to my channel, A Book Forest. My name is Kim, and today I'm gonna do a review of The Godmakers by Frank Herbert. I decided to do a review for this book, first of all, because I enjoyed it, and I also like Frank Herbert very much. I actually love Dune. It's one of my favorite series ever. And also, I felt a bit guilty because in my wrap-up, my April and May wrap up, I forgot to talk about it. So I read it in May, and I'm sorry, it was on the Kindle, so I didn't have a hard copy. So during my wrap up, I was like, I didn't have it, so I forgot about it. I'll try to get a new technique, maybe a list or something, so I don't forget things next time. So the Godmakers, basically, like, the first thing I'm gonna say, get the elephant out of the room, is people would probably ask, is it as good as Dune? No, it's not very many things are as good as Dune. However, if you like Dune, if you like Frank Herbert, if you like 70s sci-fi, I think you would enjoy this book. It's not on the same level as Dune. It's not as polished, and it's not as big in scope. However, it's really good. I absolutely loved my ride on, like, in this world, and it's short, it's sweet, it's not like a super intensive like Dune is. It's much easier to digest. Um, After reflection, initially I had given it a 3-star, but after reflection, I think I'm gonna give it a 4 stars because I really liked it, and basically I love Frank Herbert. You still find his writing style, like, you still find a philosophy in his writing. You still find a lot of the same themes that you would find in Dune, just treated a bit differently. It's different enough that it's worth a read. Like, it's not a carbon copy of previous works. And I don't know when it was written, but it was published in between books. Like, I think it was published after or before Children of Dune, around that time. So after the third book in the Dune series in the 70s, 1972 to be precise. So it's definitely a product of its time. Like, you would definitely 70s sci-fi. I think one of the best of that kind. So what is the Godmakers about? When I was on Goodreads, I saw on Goodreads, the image on Goodreads is like a lady, a naked lady in the desert in front of a city. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. What's that all about? It has nothing to do with the story. I don't know what this cover, where this cover is coming from. Like, maybe it was just to sell books to young boys in the 70s, but it's not like that. So no, the main story is about a world, like, it's the universe. It's still big in scope, like, it's set in the universe, and like unknown planets, random planets. So basically what happens is there was a big war a few years back. Like, we don't know exactly when it happened, but it wasn't that long ago that people have put it in myth. It was short enough ago, like, that people are still traumatized by the impacts of this war. It's called the Rim Wars. So many wars happening, and so it made, basically, this war caused the civilization to crash, and advancements in technology in most planets reverted back to basically tribal, um, non-technological civilizations. They still have memories of their past, but they don't have the means to explore the galaxy. They don't have the means to do anything other than live on their planet as best as they can. There's a nugget of civilization that remains. Basically, they're like in control because they have the technology. So they're in control of their little realm of civilization. And at the beginning of the stories, they're at the in the process of basically re-civilizing, like recolonizing all the outer planets. So they're from their little island and then they're growing outwards. And they're going to planets that are alone in the, like they're essentially alone, no communications with anyone else. And they're going on these planets and they're giving them back technology, knowledge, science, things like that. So the main character is called Lewis Orn, and he's part of the R&R, which is the group that does this mission, that they go to planets and just give them the tools to grow back into what they were, or to be more self-sufficient and to be more connected to the other planets. R&R stands for rediscovery and re-education. So you can see it's a bit colonization. It's like it's basically like they're putting their stamp on all those planets. The people who work for R&R are a bit like they come from university, they study this and they study the civilization, and they study how to deal with different tribes, different cultures, different religions, behaviors, and they go in and they try to integrate in the civilization, and they're accepted because they bring stuff that the planets want. However, Lewis Orn is just starting in his career. Like he's pretty green. It's his first mission, and he kind of senses on a certain planet that not everything is good, not everything seems right, and they have like a panic button that they can push if they find that there might be danger, or if they find that there's something wrong. They press a button, and then IA comes in. So IA stands for Investigative Adjustment Service, and these are way more military. So they're like, okay, you sense something's wrong, we're gonna investigate, and if we find that this planet has war tendencies, has tendencies to be violent in any way, they're done. Like we're gonna come in and take over, basically. So yeah, that's much more militaristic. So like it's very interesting, like the dynamics between those two agencies. You only see like Lewis Orn, who's from R&R, and Stetson, who's the guy from IA that comes in. But basically, like you can see the difference in the culture of those two agencies. Like one is way more like nurturing, and the other one's like we're gonna find out if you want to create new wars, basically, because this civilization is so traumatized by those wars that they want none of it. Like nothing like that is ever gonna happen again. Of course, like it's human nature, I would say. I mean, we see that kind of behavior in countries all around the world. So yeah, it's very interesting in that sense. Like he's using the sci-fi epic, but he's talking about issues that you can obviously find in the real world. I find like the book is an episodic, like it has little episodes. Like you start with at this place, Lewis Orn is starting his career, and there's something happens, and there's a resolution, and then it goes on to another planet, and same thing. So that would be great for like a TV show. It would be like they'd know exactly what to put in the episodes. So that's different. Like it gives you a little like, okay, it's interesting. Like there's no, it's the same character in all the vignettes, but you see like him basically like transitioning from a green new guy on the block to like what he's gonna become over the course of the book. So it's definitely episodic, and it has also like I would say progression in scope. After in each story gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I really enjoyed the characters. Like Lewis Orn is a totally ordinary guy, at the beginning. Like he's very average, doing his job, but he has a very good. He has an intuition, and you know you don't exactly know what it's gonna lead to, but for sure, like it's totally Frank Herbert. Like he's always putting like technology against like the mind, against more like a spiritual or the powers of the mind against the powers of technology and religion. It's really interesting, and I really enjoyed the way he went about it. It's way less serious than what happens in Dune. It's a bit more um, lighthearted, bit less intense, but absolutely still big in scope. So yeah, it was quite interesting. And yeah, you still find like nuggets from Frank Herbert. So I'm gonna have a few quotes here, like um, desperate and frightened humans who had grown up in the shadows of the Rim Wars terrors. Did that give these humans the right to decide whether an entire species should survive? Or something like the peacekeeping function of the marketplace, the deliberate despecializations of manufacture, the psychological security of guilds and castes. So yeah, there's like little hints of Dune in there, I find. So I enjoyed it very much. I'm not gonna say what happens to Lewis Orn, like it would be spoilery, but basically that's the gist of it for the Godmakers. It's totally worth a read, if especially if you're a Dune fan, Frank Herbert fan, if you're a fan of sci-fi, like even modern sci-fi. Like it's not written in a very old style. It's Frank Herbert, so yeah, he's a. You still have like inner monologues, a bit less than Dune, but you still have them. And all the main characters, like there's basically two main characters. It's Lewis Orn and Stetson, and they're like it's buddies. They're like quite friendly, and yeah, they get to like each other very much. So buddy cop comedies, it's really fun. Um, I'm not gonna yeah talk about it much longer. That's pretty much what I can say. So yeah, give it a try if you want. And I'm sorry, Frank Herbert, I forgot to talk about your book in my wrap up. It won't happen again. So hopefully I'll read some more Frank Herbert that's not Dune eventually. So thank you for watching, and give it a try.